Hey everyone, I am back from a fucking doozy. I've already talked about this on the Tumblr page and the Facebook page, but you guys are going to be seeing some new changes around here on the old channel and having to do with the banner, the name, and everything. I've talked about this slightly before I left, but I am back, so don't be alarmed. There will be some new changes and everything's going to be fine. Hopefully you guys like them. So, yeah, just be prepared for that. And just going to continue this video now. Hey everybody. So, today I am trying something new. As you all know, I am trying to find the best and most efficient methods for different video series that I'm trying to do. And my friends have really been encouraging me to continue doing opinionated videos because they like them, and they also track the support that I get on the channel and from where. So they realize that a lot of people like my opinionated videos. They've been trying to help me, especially the Mafia, which is one of my friends, have been trying to help me with different methods of making easy opinionated videos so that I have time to work on other things in between every week. So this is an idea that I just thought of today, and I'm gonna try it out where I just draw something and then talk over the drawing, and then maybe I'll do the line art speed drawing and then the color one officially with no talking and just music so you can see the whole thing. Like, this could be a preview. Something like that. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to see how this goes. But with all that being said, I'm just gonna get right into it now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. So what does success mean to you? Well, the idea of success is the opposite of failure. And if you aren't working as hard as you would like, you might feel as if you're failing yourself. So not achieving a standard you set for yourself. And that's why today we're going to be discussing the idea of success and hard work. I'm specifically targeting people who have an issue with viewing their own attributes or understanding just how successful they are or how hardworking they are. A lot of times you try to do things, but you don't even realize that what you're doing is actually very difficult because it's something that you do all the time. And maybe you come from some sort of background where people tell you that you're not doing much. Maybe you feel like whatever you do to contribute to society is insignificant, or you might have a goal that you want to reach and you don't think that you're working hard enough to get there. Maybe you don't see improvement even though there is improvement there. The reason why a lot of people, whether it has to do with work, their appearance, how far they've come in life, just any attribute of themselves, when people tend to downplay themselves, it's because you are comparing your backstage performance to everyone's main act. You have to understand that everybody has lacking somewhere. People have flaws, people have physical ailments and mental ailments that you don't see when you see them walking down the street, and how we view ourselves and what we think of ourselves tends to be worse than what other people think. So if you are unfortunate enough to be surrounded by people who are purposefully trying to beat you down, a way for you to get away from that mindset and view the truth about yourself, actually there are multiple ways, and I'm going to list those. I'll do a separate video one day about people's abusive nature and how people can get into your head and make you believe something that isn't true, and how to stop allowing them to do that. So some things that you can do so that you can start recognizing how much you actually are worth, or how successful you are, how hardworking you are, notice your different attributes, would be, for one, you can make a list. So if there's a lot of things that you need to do throughout the day, make a list of the things that you have done, and then you can make the list longer by writing down what you've done throughout the week or the month. Then after you make that list, because we're not done, take anyone who you care about. It could be a friend, a family member, it could be an idol, or some sort of role model. Everyone pretty much has at least one of those things. So basically take anyone who you adore on some sort of level or care about besides yourself and put their name in place of yours on that list. And then think to yourself, how would I feel if this person was doing this every single day? If this person could get all these things done in a day or in a month, or etc., how to feel about them. And think of how many things on your list to reach your goal you've done. So me, for example, I have a lot of projects that I need to do, and I used to think like I'm not doing nearly enough because I'm not working on them all every single day. And it's most people can't You shouldn't. Whether it's like making something out of clay, doing a drawing video, recording the drawing, making other videos, because there's different types of videos where I'm like, why am I not doing all of these things every week? It could be pretty much anything, or that you're not contacting people who you want to contact. So when you actually make a list and you look at it all, most of the time you're actually doing a lot more work than you think you are. This also works for people who can't think of what to do. You know, when you struggle with depression and anxiety, that mix is very, very difficult to cope with. So a lot of the times you want to do everything, but at the same time you end up doing nothing, and then you'll just spend the whole day thinking about how you have so many things to do, and an entire day will go by where you just literally sat there and then you do nothing because you keep saying, I need to do something, I need to do something, I need to do for 24 hours straight. So if you have that sort of struggle, funny enough, actually making a list of the things that you need to do and telling yourself that you're going to do everything on the list helps. And you don't even have to do everything on the list. So write as many tasks as possible that you need to achieve by the end of the day. And even if you don't achieve them all, let's say you wrote 9 different forms of work. Again, using myself as an example. Let's say I need to ink something on paper, I need to record a dress-up video, and I need to update the different pages that I have. I need to edit a video, like my audio or something like that, and then I need to make something out of clay. Let's say I only do 2 of those things. Each of those things take a long time on their own. So if I actually did 2 of those things in one day, because they take hours and hours, that's actually a big achievement that most people wouldn't spend time doing. So you can do something like that, but tell yourself you're going to do everything on that list. And if you don't, it's okay. That way you can look at all of the things that you're doing. You can even add things onto the list like making breakfast, you know, making your lunch and stuff like that, because that does take time out of your day. So that way you can judge it more objectively if you're having a really hard time, because you don't have time to do certain things if you're in the middle of cooking. There's things like that too. So you could sit there and look at it like, say, wow, I had to clean the house and I had to cook, and after all that stuff I was still able to do all this stuff. I was able to go to the gym and burn this many calories, or I was able to work on this project, I was able to apply for this job, and I did all that in one day. Wow. You could do something like that. Those are just some tips for you to appreciate yourself more. And then if you replace your name with a friend of yours or some sort of family member, idol, or anything like that, and you think, how would I feel if this person did all those things? Then you usually get a more objective opinion of just how hard you actually are working. And another thing is, you just have to remind yourself that it's not the end of the world if you don't finish something as quickly as you wanted to. There's still time to do it as long as you're alive. So just work on it anyway, because when it comes down to it, at least you did it. Even if it takes longer than you expected for it to, at least you actually completed what you needed to complete. When you look maybe 3 months down the road, you're going to look back at that time like, man, if I had just went and did it the next day, even though I failed this day, everything would have been okay. But the main focus here is just make sure that you think ahead. Make sure that you actually think of how you're going to feel not doing something. Are you actually going to be happy with yourself if you didn't finish something that you want to do? If not, then just remember, no one's going to attack you. Nobody's going to, bully you into making anything, because who gives a fuck? This is stuff these are your projects most of the time. People don't have these issues with work. It tends to be stuff in their own personal life. If it's with work, then yeah, you really gotta push yourself. But if it's something that nobody's paying for, just take your time and put it out when you can. Even if you're paying for it, if someone's paying for it, you can only work so fast. So just make sure you remember, at least I'm getting it finished, even if it's not finished when I want it to. Don't overthink it. Just believe in yourself. So when it comes to your own success and your own worth and how hard you're working, you just have to remember that everybody lacks in some areas. Everybody works hard in other areas. Depending on how you feel, you can work really hard and get things done really fast. And then depending on how you feel, it could feel like it'll never end. It really depends, and it's not the end of the world if you couldn't finish what you want to do. So just make sure you remember that it's okay to not reach your goal every single time, and just try harder next time. If you make this list and you haven't done enough things, you can always add to it. You can always add things that you want to do. Brainstorm and think of more tasks to give yourself. And remember that you don't have to do something every second of every day. You can, of course, wind down and watch a show or watch some sort of movie or play some sort of game for a few hours if you want to. You can talk on the phone with someone if you want to do that. You can go somewhere, you can go for a walk. Remember that you can also fit in time to have fun. Just because you're not working doesn't mean that you didn't do any work. I don't use lists all the time. I haven't needed one in a while. And even when I used it, it was only for maybe a few days tops. That was enough for me, just to remember that I actually am getting a lot of stuff done. So this isn't something that you have to keep up. Don't shame yourself because you didn't make a list. If you don't need it, you don't need it. This is just to let you know what you have done and how much you've done, and then also to let you know what you need to do next if you're just stuck in your head. Again, if you're just sitting there all day thinking you have to do something, you have so much to do and you don't know what to do, but you need to do something. This way you can actually have things that you need to do and, set timestamps of how long you're going to be working on those things. Maybe for an hour, maybe 2 hours. How long does it typically take you to do those things? And that will give you some groundwork to change how you've been functioning lately. But you make sure that whatever you do, make sure that you do something. And you don't even have to do something every day. I mean, even people work full time, get the weekend off. So just make sure that you do something most days, whether it's with friends or anything. Make sure that you just do a little bit of work every day. And as long as you keep doing that, when you look back at all the work that you did, you'll be thinking, man, it's a really good thing that I kept pushing, because as those days go by, you'll see the cumulative difference between doing all those things every day and not doing them every day for a month or a few months. And then you'll really be proud of yourself and it'll push you to go even further. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was motivational for you, and I hope that you guys get those projects done and achieve whatever it is you need to achieve. If you have any stories about how this relates to you, you can post them in the comment section. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, you can put that in the comment section too. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.